Telling your darkest secrets to your significant other can backfire on you, especially when they're ready to break up. Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry it has taken so long to get a video out. Between my schedule and court, it has been non-stop this last week, but finally today I'm able to get some content out to you guys. Anyone that's been in a relationship for any significant amount of time, you understand that telling your personal business to your partner just kind of comes with the territory. Usually whenever you're with somebody for any extended amount of time, you trust that person and you tell them some of your darkest secrets. But sometimes that can come back to bite you in the ass. Domestic disputes are a prime example of that. There are all sorts of skeletons that come out of the closet when your significant other is mad at you, sometimes for revenge, but especially whenever the cops are called. I personally am not like that. Whether it's a relationship or it's a friendship that's ending, either way, I don't like to put people's business out there. I think it's human nature to want to share secret information with other people, especially people that you're close to. I think sometimes when people are told a secret, they're like, well, I can tell my friend, but I won't tell anybody else. Well, here's the problem with that. If you tell your friend and they tell their friend and they tell their friend that they can trust, the secret still ends up getting out even if you didn't originally mean for it to. When someone tells me to keep a secret, I take it to my grave. Don't tell your friends, don't tell your family, don't tell anybody. If somebody trusted me with something at the time, I think that's a really low blow to put their dirty laundry out there. It speaks pretty poorly about your character, in my opinion. But not everybody feels like that, and some people have no problem whatsoever putting other people's dirty laundry out there for everybody to know about. Last night, my sergeant and I went to a domestic call where this male had voice recordings on his phone of his girlfriend telling him how much she wanted to kill him. In Georgia, that wasn't necessarily a direct threat, so it wouldn't necessarily qualify for terroristic threats. With that being said, he also locked her out of their bedroom, which technically was a crime as well, but instead of taking both of them to jail, we were able to mediate the situation. But before we left, something hilarious happened. These two were bickering at each other like children. Every time she walked into the bedroom, she would slam the door, and then a few seconds later, she would open it back up. She was back in the hallway and trying to argue with this guy again. The guy was actually really calm, but he was visibly frustrated. Apparently, he's been wanting her to move out, but she hasn't wanted to move out and pay for her own place. But anyway, at the end of the call, something came out of the blue that caught me and the sergeant completely off guard. We were about to walk out of the side door of the house, we got everything calmed down, and out of nowhere she says, "Maybe I should tell those officers about how you like watching chicks with dicks on your computer." Guys, I wish I could show you the body cam footage. The funny part about the whole call was even after she said that, he made no attempt whatsoever to try to defend himself. He literally put his hands on his hips, he looked down and just shook his head. And you guys know me well enough by now to know my sarcastic ass was sitting there like, "Is that true, Donald? Is that what you're into?" But considering the circumstances, that probably would have just escalated things. Remember I told you guys about that one officer that just escalates things? That kind of officer would have said something like that. So yeah, it took everything for the sergeant and I not to laugh. Now I'm sure you guys are probably wondering about how old these people are. She was in her late 30s, this guy was in his early 50s. She looked about as old as he did though, she looked pretty rough. This woman also had no bra on, but luckily her boobs were not looking at me, they were looking at the ground, so we never made eye contact. I think the funniest spontaneous utterances, if you will, are the ones that come out on a domestic. Remember when I was talking about those skeletons coming out of the closet? And what's funny is usually these utterances have nothing to do with law enforcement or crime whatsoever. How about I tell these officers about how you like to chop wood naked in the backyard? How about I tell these officers about how I caught you masturbating to Star Wars? How about I tell these officers about how the catwalk's funny every time you guys are alone in a room? Anyway, moral of the story, be careful what you tell people. Learning secrets about your partner is inevitable in a relationship. Just try not to hook up with somebody that's vengeful, because she might start talking about your man-lady wood-chopping Star Wars fantasies. Anyway guys, that is it for today. I am so excited for the weekend. I have big plans for you guys. If you want a sneak peek, sign up at patreon.com/officer401. I've kind of given my Patreon subscribers a heads up on what's coming. I'm super excited about this weekend though. I've got a couple special guests coming. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to address them accordingly. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I will see you guys very, very soon.